Hi guys, so today we're going to be looking at the 7 types of income and how you can join the top 1% of earners. Now, it's no secret that a lot of millionaires have several streams of income, while the average person might only have one stream of income, which is their job. So this video today is going to hopefully help some of you to increase the streams of income that you have and to slowly build up your wealth and to become one of the top 1% of earners in the future. So first up, we have the one that everyone knows, and that is earned income. Now, earned income is the most popular type of income that you can get, where you're exchanging your time for money, often in the form of a job. So pretty much everyone has had earned income at some point in their life, and most people actually start off with a career with earned income. So it's one that everyone is familiar with. So it's good because it is a reliable source of income, and you can rely on getting a consistent paycheck every month. And this is really helpful for knowing you have enough to cover your bills every month. However, it does mean you're capped on how much you can earn, as there are only a limited amount of hours in a day that you can work. So this means that you're essentially capped on the earnings that you can make every single week and month. So to become one of the top 1% of earners, focus on improving your skill set to become a more desirable employee. If you can become skilled in areas that have a high demand while also being quite rare amongst other employees, then you'll be able to drive up your salary. And it's all about supply and demand, guys. So if you can improve your skills in an area that a lot of people aren't skilled in, so if there's like a gap in the market for a certain skill, focus on learning that skill, and that will obviously increase your desirability and therefore your income potential. So eventually though, the top 1% tend to phase this type of income out of their income sources as they get older, and that allows them to focus on less time-intensive streams of income. So ultimately they have more freedom, so they can enjoy their money and time more. So next up we have profit income. Now, profit income is where you're selling items for more than it costs you to buy or create them. And this is a more entrepreneurial type of income that can either be more of a side hustle done by an individual, or it can be a full-on business that employs other people, and that can allow it to be scaled up to earn more. So it is an active income when you're creating the products yourself or buying them and flipping them on sites such as eBay. This is often a good supplementary income to your earned income, but it is also time consuming and cannot be scaled that well. Or alternatively, it can also be passive and passive income if you have a team of employees behind you who are doing the manufacturing for you. Also, if the products you're selling are digital products such as software or online courses, then this can also be pretty passive. So both of these types of passive income are extremely scalable and can generate you a lot of profit every single month. So to become one of the top 1% of earners, think about starting to create or flip items in a niche that you are quite knowledgeable in and have an interest in to generate some extra side income every single month. So further down the line, if you're successful in doing this, then you can look at ways to turn this into a full-on business, scaling it up and making it more passive by employing a team of staff. So next up we have interest income, which is probably the most passive form of income on this list here. So earning interest income comes in the form of lending your money to a bank, the government, or a company, which generates you a small yield in return for doing so. So almost everyone has earned interest income at some point in their life by simply storing their money in a bank. So it's quite a common form of generating passive income. To put it simply, it's a very low risk, low reward type of investment. You've got a very, very low chance of losing your money at all. But on the other hand, you're not going to get much back in return for doing so, as interest rates are pretty low at the moment. And as I mentioned before, it is extremely passive. You don't need to actively sort of look at where your money is going. You just put it in the bank or you put it in a interest account, and you collect your interest income every single month. You don't need to really do anything with it. You don't need to keep a track of it. It's really, really passive. So to become one of the top 1%, think about how much of your money you want to have generating you interest income. So interest income, as we've mentioned, is not very lucrative. So there's a large opportunity cost to having your money tied up in this way. So think about moving your money elsewhere in order to generate you income at a higher rate that will give you a higher return on your investment. However, in saying that, if you are close to retiring and you don't want to have your money tied up in a more risky investment, then finding a high interest rate bank account might be a good option for you, as it will give you a large amount of financial security and it will still generate you a little bit of money in return. So next we have dividend income, which is my personal favourite. Now, you earn dividends when you invest in stocks in companies that pay out dividends to their shareholders. Not all companies will do this, so not all stocks do pay out dividends. For example, a company like Tesla do not pay a dividend. However, a company like Apple do. So you've got to sort of do your research to find out which companies do pay out dividends and which ones don't. So as a shareholder, you are a part owner of the company and will typically receive a dividend every quarter, so 4 times a year. So AT&T is an example of a company that pays out a healthy dividend to its shareholders. One share will cost you about $30 right now, and it will return back to you 52 cents per quarter. And that means that you're going to get a £2.08 return every year, which is about 6.8% return on investment. So as you can see, this is, so even though you're holding a share in a company that could go up or down, you are generating a higher yield compared to a standard interest account or interest bank account. So to become one of the top 1%, start to increase the amount of money you have in stocks over time. So moving earned money into healthy dividend paying stocks will ensure that your passive income is constantly growing over time. So some of the wealthiest people in the world at the moment, such as Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they have a large amount of their wealth in dividend paying stocks. A lot of the wealthy people do have a lot of income coming from dividend stocks. So it's definitely one that you should sort of look into if you want to grow your net worth over time. And building a large dividend income stream that is completely passive will give you more freedom in life to do what you want. So if you can build your passive income stream to the point where you are earning an average job salary every month just from dividends, then you have more time and freedom to enjoy your life. Now this will obviously take you quite a long time to do and a lot of money to sort of buy your dividend income stream. However, it can be done, and getting to that point will give you complete time freedom to do whatever you want. So next up we have rental income. And just before we get onto this one, guys, I do ask that if you are enjoying the video, please give it a like. It really does help me out a lot. And if you think that you want to see more videos similar to this in the future, then be sure to subscribe too. Anyway, moving on to the first point. So rental income can be obtained when you rent out real estate that you own to someone else to either live in or for a company to use commercially. Alternatively, you can rent out equipment or items that you own to someone else for a set amount of time in exchange for money. So you might have a tool that you don't need and you can rent it out for someone for a month and they give you money in exchange for that. So rental income is typically very passive, and if you're lucky it can be completely passive for years and years. However, a lot of the time it can be more time consuming than most people think. So for real estate rental income, tenants do come and go, and some will not look after your property, and others might not pay on time. So all of these things might lead to you having to waste some of your time to solve them. So it can be pretty passive, but if you get a little bit unlucky, you might have to spend quite a bit of your time sorting out the problems that come with it. So to become one of the top 1% of earners, start investing in real estate when you can afford to do so. Having a diversified passive income stream made up of stocks and real estate combined together is key to giving yourself financial freedom. Also, guys, look into investing in REITs, which is real estate investment trusts. They're similar to stocks, and they're more affordable compared to buying actual real estate. And basically, you're investing in a company that owns and operates lots of income-generating real estate. So you might invest in a company such as Realty Income, which is the ticker symbol O, and they invest into thousands of different buildings across the US, and you get a share of the dividend. You get a share of the rental income in the form of a dividend every month. So that is kind of like a nice hybrid between a stock and real estate. So it's one to look out for. So next up we have residual and royalty income. So this is probably one of the least common types of income, and even some millionaires don't have this type of income, but we're going to have a quick look at it anyway. So it is money that you continue to earn after you have already done some of your work. So you might have done some work in the past that is continuing to pay you in the future. So whether you've created music that continues to get played, or created a film or game that continues to get bought, or potentially you've written a book that people continue to buy, you're earning residual income over time from doing this. So if you put enough work into something that provides value or enjoyment for others, then you can continue to get paid for it for the rest of your life. So it's quite an appealing stream of income to have, for sure. So as I've said, it's probably one of the least common types of income, but if you are looking to join the top 1%, think about how you can start to generate some sort of residual income or royalty income every single month. It could be you create some music that people want to continue to play in the future, or you might have written a book on a educational topic that you're quite skilled in. Any of these type of incomes can be really beneficial, and it's definitely very rewarding to do something that's done in the past and then continue to get paid for it years down the line. So the final one, guys, is capital gains. Now this is when you sell assets that have appreciated over time for a profit. Most commonly this is in real estate or the stock market. So this is different. It's different to profit income, which we've mentioned before, because you're not buying or creating and then selling a product. Instead, you're just holding an asset that you have little control over the market value for, and you're just holding it over time, and it appreciates in value over time. So to become one of the top 1%, just make sure you're putting your money into smart investments and assets that have a low risk of depreciation over time. Make sure you're putting your money into real estate and stocks, and over time these assets will most likely appreciate. On the contrary, a lot of people do tend to buy cars when they're quite young, and this is sort of like the opposite of appreciation, as most cars lose value over time. And also, guys, think outside of the box. There are lots of ways to earn capital gains income, so think about the areas and niches that you have an interest in. For example, there are quite a lot of watches and classic cars that appreciate over time, so they don't have to be super expensive. You could maybe buy a watch for about maybe $5,000, maybe like a nice brand watch, and if you've got the right investment, that can definitely make you money over time. So the key thing is, if you know your stuff, making investments into these type of assets could net you some healthy capital gains income over the years. So that is it for today, guys. I really hope you did learn something from this video. Be sure to leave a comment, let me know how many streams of income you have or what your favourite type of income is. Also be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you want to see more content similar to this in the future. So apart from that, guys, thanks for watching.